So, have you noticed how different languages can really change the way we communicate?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, some languages seem so direct compared to others.
Exactly. In English, we tend to be pretty straightforward. But in Japanese, for example, they use lots of polite forms and indirect ways to say things.
That's true. It must take a while to learn all those nuances.
Oh, definitely. And even within similar languages like Spanish and Portuguese, there are big differences. Like in Spain, people might speak faster and use slang more than in Latin America.
That makes sense. I guess the culture influences how fast or slow people talk too.
Absolutely. Culture plays a huge role. In some cultures, pauses in speech are seen as thinking time, but in others, it can feel awkward and make the speaker look unsure.
Right, I've heard that before.
And then there's body language. Did you know that in many Mediterranean countries, nodding your head up and down means no instead of yes? It's crazy.
No kidding. That could lead to a lot of misunderstandings.
For sure. Imagine ordering food and getting something totally different because of a nod mix-up. Ha! Anyway, these little details are what make learning about other cultures so fascinating.
Definitely. There's always something new to discover.
Speaking of cultural differences, have you thought about how educational systems vary around the world?
Yeah, it's pretty different. Some places focus more on memorization, while others emphasize critical thinking.
True. In many Asian countries, like Japan or South Korea, there's a strong emphasis on exams and academic performance. Students often study late into the night and attend extra classes after school.
That sounds intense. Here in the US, we try to balance academics with extracurricular activities and personal development.
Exactly. The US system tends to value creativity and individual expression more. But that doesn't mean it's easier. Kids still face a lot of pressure to succeed in everything they do.
It can be tough trying to meet all those expectations.
Absolutely. And then there are countries where education is seen as a way to instill traditional values and respect for authority, like in some parts of the Middle East.
That's interesting. It seems like each country has its own priorities when it comes to education.
Definitely. It shapes not just how kids learn, but also their worldview and future goals. Like here, we encourage students to question and think independently, which is great for innovation, but maybe not so good for following strict rules.
I guess every system has its pros and cons.
Thinking about educational systems leads me to wonder how work ethics and business practices differ across cultures too.
Yeah, that's a big area of variation. Some places value long working hours, while others prioritize work-life balance.
Absolutely. In Japan, for instance, there's this concept called karoshi, which is death from overwork. Long hours are seen as a sign of dedication and hard work.
That sounds intense. In contrast, in countries like Sweden or Denmark, they focus more on achieving a good work-life balance.
True. Those Nordic countries have shorter work weeks and longer vacations, yet they're still very productive. It's all about efficiency rather than sheer time spent at the office.
Efficiency does seem to be key in many successful businesses.
Definitely. And then there's the way meetings are conducted. In some cultures, like the US, meetings can be quite direct and fast-paced. People speak up openly and debate ideas freely.
Right. But in other cultures, like China or India, meetings might be more hierarchical and focused on maintaining harmony and respect for seniority.
Exactly. Silence during discussions can mean agreement in some cultures, while in others it might signal confusion or disagreement. It's all about understanding these subtle cues to communicate effectively.
It really does require a lot of cultural sensitivity to navigate those differences successfully.
Speaking of cultural differences, Religious beliefs and practices also vary widely across the globe. Have you noticed how different religions influence daily life?
Yes, it's really interesting. In some countries, religion is deeply ingrained in everyday routines and social norms.
Absolutely. Take India, for example. Hinduism is a major part of life there, with numerous festivals and rituals that affect daily schedules and community activities.
That's true. I've heard about Diwali and Holi being huge celebrations.
Exactly. And then, there are countries like Saudi Arabia where Islam plays a central role in laws and societal behavior. Things like prayer times and fasting during Ramadan impact daily life significantly.
It sounds like those traditions shape a lot of what people do every day.
Definitely. Even in more secular societies like the US, you see traces of Christian holidays like Christmas and Easter influencing public life and business practices.
True. It's hard to miss those influences during certain times of the year.
And let's not forget about Buddhism in countries like Thailand or Sri Lanka. There, temples are central gathering places, and meditation is a common practice that helps people find peace and mindfulness in their lives.
It's amazing how these beliefs can create such distinct communities and lifestyles.
Indeed. Understanding these differences can help us appreciate the diversity of human experiences around the world.